I had never been to an escape room, and so when I read the script, I was like, what are these things the kids are doing? And they're actually really surprisingly stressful and fun, and I'm kind of useless in them. I was just like literally standing in the corner, twiddling my thumbs, like, let me know when we get out.
What are we looking for here, bud?
Anything that looks like a puzzle or a code, numbers are very important. It could be anything, anywhere.
I've never done an escape room myself. Neither had Amanda, so I felt like that was probably better to wait and do it after the film. But I actually play Dungeons & Dragons. I'm a game master. I wrote an adventure, sort of a dungeon crawl, escape room-like adventure for all of my castmates, and we played a couple of times.
Looks like I need 4 numbers.
The time I went to escape room, I didn't know what to expect. I had an amazing time. I am very grateful that my escape room was not trying to kill me like escape rooms in this movie. In 3 minutes, they're gonna poison us!
Anybody trying to do an escape room, just know that a mad killer could be behind it. So maybe this is a cautionary tale that think twice before you get in a room with strangers and try to do some riddles.
This is the worst game of Twister ever.
I love escape rooms, and so when I read this, I got super excited because I am a huge escape room nerd. Never beaten one, sadly, but I will one day. But yeah, that's what really drew me to it. I love the concept, and I've never done a thriller or horror movie before, and so I thought doing that would be just a really fun experience.
Jesus. Talk about immersive.
You have an hour to get out of these rooms, and I actually set a record in one of the rooms. But the experience that I had in the real escape rooms I've done was like sheer exuberance and joy, and I love an immersive experience.
Oh man, I could hang out here for a while.
Whoa.
Hey, the doorknob came off.
What, you broke it?
Of course he did.
Is that how you open a door in your house? I mean, you just...
No, it was...
You guys, I think this is the escape room.
What?
What? Hold on, wait, it's starting right now?
Yes!
Each of the set is almost the nemesis in the film. The journey that these rooms go on, one of them tries to crush you, one of them tries to burn you, one of them tries to drown you. It's an incredible journey, so it's a really exciting project.
Sets are an incredible inspiration. Every time you walk into one of these spaces and you see the amount of work that went into them and the thought, and you just want to live up to that. You don't want the pre-production planning to suddenly fall short because your performance couldn't live up to it.
Ed brought so much to the table because he's just so inveterate and he's done so many movies. Ed Thomas was on the ground well before I was, crewing up and getting his battalion of amazing technicians behind him.
Adam's previous films are quite scary, so I think he's very good at creating that sort of very menacing, claustrophobic environment.
Where's the clock? I don't see the goddamn clock! The sets help the performance. Our set designers did such an amazing job with all of them.
Everything is safe. So you become very intimate with the space and with the elements at play in there. And it really does take on a life of its own.
Whoa.
Yeah, the sets are quite important players in the film. They've also got kind of characters to them.
This is my room.
And with each room comes another anxiety.
5 rooms, okay. So that means we just need to do that 4 more times.
We are in our ice room, which, as you can see, is a winter wonderland. It's like Narnia.
Are we outside?
So the ice room was a real challenge. It's the biggest set that we did, but to find the amount of trees to populate it was quite interesting.
The whole room is ice. The conceit is that the puzzle makers have built a giant tank, frozen, and the side is paneled with refrigerator panels.
I was keen that that room, in all of the rooms really, that they were real, that I wanted it to look like a fridge.
When I first walked in, it really feels like you're outside. You have these huge pine trees, and so you really kind of feel transported to a whole different space.
We should look for clues.
Mark Spicer, our DP, said, you know, look, we need to bring in some atmosphere and create some fog. And the fog was basically like a giant fishbowl where we're breathing in this horrible atmospheric crap for days on end. But it looked amazing.
I feel like we're avoiding the inevitable conclusion here.
I think one of the real triumphs of the film is the billiard room.
At least it's warm in here.
Because that sort of encompasses everything. Construction, set dressing, special effects, visual effects. And when you see that and you see the way that there's a bookcase that has 3 actors hanging on it, and it comes down rather abruptly to 2 different angles.
It's a dive bar slash billiards bar that's upside down. So it's actually one of my favorite rooms. I think the bar is the most amazing thing. The detail that our construction team and our art department went to make this room is absolutely insane.
Sure.
When we first see this room, we see it the right way up because we're doing a clever camera move that shows it the right way up and then spins it round to reveal that the cast are actually standing on the ceiling and everything's above them. So the tile room was scripted as exactly that, a tiled room that basically when you looked at it, your eyes started to go a bit mad and the patination started to get all a bit churned up.
In the tile room, how do you create a hallucinatory experience? How do you create almost nausea in an audience? Well, Ed pitched a giant rotating Lazy Susan and suddenly the set was gonna rotate.
You're melting. You're melting. There's something about spinning around 360 for 3 days in a row.
The tile room was very difficult as well with the strobes and the rotating floor. It all just became, very daunting.
Our graphic artist, Lucy, came up with a fantastic patination of fingerprints, and then we designed the room to feel as if you're actually inside the puzzle box.
This is a movie about architecture and about spaces. So as much as we could, we did 180-degree pans. We showed the entire room. And so it was important to us to really make the audience feel like they were in a box each time they got into a room.
To watch another person die. Yeah. You gotta calm down.
Stop telling me to calm down!
Dumb question. Are we outside? Am I stone cold tripping?
Stone cold.
This cast killed it, and they were all so committed. They were all so good. They all brought so much more to the table than I could have ever imagined.
The story is definitely about the interaction of strangers and how will they together survive the challenges that they come up against. And their backstories are revealed through that journey. And you don't know what brought them all together, and that's revealed throughout the process of them going through the maze.
This serves as an entry voucher
for Minos escape rooms.
Working with the other cast has been great. It's been very cool to see how everybody deals with this crazy situation.
I'm a puzzle person myself, so that part of it appealed to me.
Everybody in this cast is super talented.
For me, it's been really special because I'm fairly new working with some of these actors like Schut and Deborah Ann Woll and Labine. Just watching them has been a really cool learning experience.
We all kind of brought something like, oh, I watched this video where this happened, and the lips go blue, and then we each were able to build that into our characters and into our work.
They are all terrible human beings, but they're good actors. I'm kidding. They're awesome. They're amazing people.
I was blown away by what happens. It's pretty dark and violent. And that, of course, I like a bit of darkness and violence.
Jesus. Talk about immersive.
Immersive? What the hell is wrong with you? That was real!
Logan, I can't say enough about him. Take after take, we put this guy through the ringer, and he delivers.
I got choked to death. I got choked so many times in this movie. Got choked not once, twice, maybe even 3 times off camera. Who knows?
Comes back the next day after being stabbed, dragged, knocked around.
Who cares, man? We're gonna die here anyway.
I don't know, man. This place is really cold.
We then move into the ice field. There, what we had to deal with is a fake floor that's got to be ice.
What do you mean he fell through?
Nick Dodani playing Danny, he had never swum before, and then suddenly I'm dragging him 10 feet underwater and looks like he's under the ice.
I've been working with the Frog Squad. I'll actually be under the water dying. I don't even have anything to say.
What is that? Glass half full. At least it's warm in here.
Then from the ice room, we move into the billiard room. Stunt-wise, this is the favorite room for the show.
For me, there will be a couple of jumps that were really quite scary. Jumps where I was on a safety line in case I missed, jumping a 6-foot gap and grabbing onto something with my hands.
Hang on, hang on.
But I had to do it. There's no assistance in getting that stunt completed.
The game is designed so they always win.
Because of the tight spaces and the claustrophobic type feel and the way that they're shooting it, we're also not able to use the stunt doubles as much as maybe we would want to. It means that most of the time you're seeing things is with the actors themselves. And we've got Zoe falling off the bookshelf and landing on the ground.
Stunts is one of my favorite departments to work with. Grant and his whole team, they just have a lot of fun and they give you a lot of inspiration and make you feel like you can kind of do anything.
What the hell was she gonna do with that?
Breathe, bitch!
I hate this room so much.
You've got Mike and Bing hanging on this bookshelf that gets pushed down to 20 degrees, then 35 degrees, and they're hanging on there.
We did some like cool stunt training. I had to do quite an intense stunt routine in this room, actually. We had to get up on this bookshelf right here and hang from harnesses for quite a few days.
Come on, give me your hand. Each room has its own stunt, whether it be a hole in the middle of the ice, or whether it's being in a room where you're on ropes for 8 days, or whether it's a room that spins around and you have to do a fight scene.
Obviously, as producers, we're just super excited to have our films greenlit, but once we do, bringing in the director of photography, bringing in the production designer, stunts, VFX, it's an experience. It's a super fun journey.